guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I am going to be doing another battle of the palettes. So for today's video we are going to be putting the Colourpop double entendre palette, which looks like this, versus the tartelette toasted palette, which looks like this. So I'm really excited because I absolutely love both brands. You guys probably know this already about me. I love both brands. I think they come up with spectacular products, and I'm really excited just to see, because when I didn't even think that they were dupes until one day I think I was going through my eyeshadow collections or something, and I noticed how similar these two eyeshadows looked, and I was like, do I have two totally identical eyeshadow palettes? So then I swatched them and I noticed that a lot of the colors looked very similar to each other. So I thought that this calls for a battle of the palettes. So I'm really excited for this video. I'm not going to make this intro too long, and I guess you guys are just going to have to figure out which eye is which. Let me know down below in the comments which eye you think is Colourpop and which eye you think is Tarte. And let's go ahead and jump right in. So as you guys can see, I'm going to use the Tarte palette on the right and then the Colourpop palette on the left. I know it looks opposite, but it's just because of the camera. So then I'm using this very light shade as my transition shade, and then I'm using this more orangey shade with the smaller MAC 224 brush in the crease just to start deepening it up. And just to save some time, I'm not going to need any of the names of the shadows because the Colourpop ones are so hard to figure out. But anyways, then I'm going to take this red brown color with my Kylie Cosmetics brush and just apply that on my outer V. And this is just going to go ahead and start deepening up the look and making it look more cat eye. And then I'm taking that same shade that's in the Tarte palette and I'm just going to go ahead and apply it there. And I am using my color switch in between palettes so that way there's no confusion and I'm not using the Colourpop shadow on the Tarte side. So just letting you guys know, I'm just not showing it because it's going to take up too much time. And then I'm using this brown shade from Colourpop. So it's a brown shade with gold glitter in it. And I'm applying that on the outer V and really focusing it on the outer wing line. And this is just to deepen it up a little bit. And I am using a Morphe M507 brush to go ahead and apply that. And then the Tarte eyeshadow is just like the Colourpop one. So it's a brown shade with some gold glitters, but the gold glitters in this one is just a little bigger. And I'm doing the same exact technique on the other eye, and you guys can see this color is a little harder to blend out. I don't know if maybe it's just I grabbed too much or what, but it definitely was a little harder to blend out. So then I took that Kylie brush again, and just because I'm going to blend it out anyways on both sides, I just went ahead and blended out the Colourpop one, which was very easy to blend. The Tarte one, I did have a little bit more trouble blending it out, which you guys will see here. It's taken me a lot longer to blend all the shadows to make sure there's no harsh line. And then I'm taking this really pretty shimmer shade. So it's a gold shimmer. I'm taking some of my Mario Badescu cucumber water, and I'm just spraying that on this synthetic brush and applying it on the outer half or inner half of my eye. Then I'm taking the same gold shade from the Tarte palette, doing the same thing, wetting the brush and then just applying that on the inner part of my eye. And then I'm just taking this matte vanilla shade and I'm going to go ahead and highlight my brow bone, and this time I started on the Tarte side, but it's the same exact thing, so it doesn't matter. So then I'm taking that same shade from the Colourpop, and you guys can see it's super intense. So I just went ahead and tapped off all the X's and blended that out. And then after that, I am going to put on my base and my eyelashes. And then I'm taking this really pretty shimmery vanilla shade with a MAC 219 brush, which is my favorite to put my inner corner highlight with. And I'm going to go ahead and use the Tarte one that looks just like it. Then I'm putting on Colourpop's Poison Lip Liner. And then I'm going to also use the Colourpop Lip Primer, which I absolutely love this for matte lipsticks. I'm using the MAC. This is All Fired Up from MAC. I haven't used this shade in a while and I forgot how much I love it. But this shade is such a beautiful red color with like this really pretty pink like undertone. I don't know how to explain it. It's super unique. I really love it. And it is harder to apply, so that's why I like using the Tarte or the Colourpop lippy primer underneath. And that is the finished look. So this is my finished look using the Colourpop Double Entendre, which is on this eye, and the Tartelette Toasted palette, which is on this eye. So they do look like this. So overall, I don't think you need both. As you guys can see, these looks are basically identical. So I think they look almost identical. I wouldn't say that they're exact dupes, because there are some colors that are in this that aren't in this. Like, I think this one has more transition shades than this palette does, and then this one has one more shimmer than this one does, but they are pretty similar. And I'm going to go ahead and quickly just show you guys some side-by-side comparisons. Those are the dupes. Out of 12 shades in each eyeshadow palette, 2 of them were different, like totally different, so that's why I didn't even show them. I personally love Tarte so much. You guys know that their Gifted mascara is my favorite, and their Hotel Heiress bronzer is my favorite for bronzing my face up. But if I had to pick one, and it's not because of price, I would probably pick the Colourpop Double Entendre palette, just because I think that it was, when I was doing the look on my eyes, I think it was just a little easier to blend out the colors. And if you guys really look closely right here, especially in the outer corners, I feel like this one you can really see the colors a little bit more. Like, it doesn't look as muddy as this side here. I feel like this side is a little tiny bit muddy, but I didn't like the fact that it did get a little bit muddy and it was kind of harder to blend. So I would definitely say, instead of spending, I think this is like 45, maybe 40, 45, 40, I would spend the $16 that it costs to get the Colourpop eyeshadow palette. And you guys know that I'm a huge advocate for Colourpop. They don't even know who I am. I'm not getting paid for this at all. I'm just telling you guys my honest opinion. You guys know I love, love, love me some Colourpop. Every single product, almost every single product that they've ever come out with that I've tried, I absolutely have loved. So I would definitely pick the Double Entendre palette over the Tartelette Toasted palette. And these palettes are perfect everyday warm eyeshadow palettes, and especially for the summertime that is coming up now, it's perfect to create a beautiful bronzy or smoky eye or anything like that. So I definitely would say Double Entendre all day, every day. This palette is absolutely gorgeous. I've used it about a few times now, maybe 5 or 6 times. You can kind of see, if you look at it a little bit, it is kind of dirty looking. Have a little chips in there too, because sometimes things just end up in my eyeshadow palettes. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until then.